The Life and Sad Ending of Kenny Chesney. Kenny Chesney was born Kenneth Arnold Chesney on March 26, 1968, in Knoxville, Tennessee, U.S., and raised in the nearby small town of Luttrell, best known as the home of Chet Atkins. He grew up listening to both country and rock and roll, but didn't get serious about music until college, when he studied marketing at East Tennessee State University. He received a guitar as a Christmas present and set about practicing, and was soon performing with the college bluegrass band. Chesney soon started writing songs as well, and played for tips in local venues, most often a Mexican restaurant, every night he could. Additionally, he managed to sell 1,000 copies of a self-released demo album. After graduation in 1991, he moved to Nashville and became the resident performer at The Turf, a rough honky-tonk in the city's historic district. Although he gained experience, it wasn't the sort of place where he'd be discovered, and in 1992, he moved on to a publishing deal with a Cuff Rose. From there, he landed a record contract with Capricorn and released his debut album, In My Wildest Dreams, in late 1993. Unfortunately for Chesney, Capricorn wasn't much of a country label. Not only was the album under-promoted, but the label's country division shut down completely not long after its release. Still, it sold 100,000 copies and caught the attention of several major labels. Chesney ended up signing with RCA subsidiary BNA, which released All I Need to Know in 1995. The album gave him his first two top 10 hits in the title track and Fall in Love. His follow-up, 1996, Me and You, became his first album to go gold, thanks to two number 2 singles in the title track and When I Close My Eyes. Released in 1997, I Will Stand was another gold-selling effort that gave Chesney his first ever number 1 hit in She's Got It All, plus another number 2 with That's Why I'm Here. His big-time breakthrough, however, came with 1999's Everywhere We Go, which sold over 2 million copies and spawned 2 number 1 hits with You Had Me From Hello and How Forever Feels. It also featured another top 10 single in What I Need to Do and another, She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy, that just missed. In 2000, Chesney issued his first greatest hits compilation and 2 newly recorded songs, I Lost It and Don't Happen Twice, which went on to number 3 and number 1, respectively. Greatest Hits became Chesney's second straight double platinum release and topped the country LP chart. He followed it with all new No Shirt, No Shoes, No Problem in early 2002, which gave him his strongest commercial performance yet. It, too, hit number 1 on the country album chart and spun off 4 top 10 singles in Young, the number 1 The Good Stuff, the Bill Anderson co-write A Lot of Things Different, and Big Star. A Christmas album plugged the gap for 2003, and he had a strong return with 2004's When the Sun Goes Down, which won the Album of the Year category at the Country Music Awards. He repeated the win, this time as Entertainer of the Year with Be As You Are. Chesney found himself the subject of much tabloid fodder in 2005 with his surprise marriage to actress Renee Zellweger. He had composed 1999's You Had Me From Hello after watching Zellweger in 1996 film Jerry Maguire. The pair split that same year, citing irreconcilable differences. Chesney later suggested the failure of his marriage was due to the fact that I panicked. In an interview by 60 Minutes with Anderson Cooper, Chesney commented on the failed marriage. The only fraud that was committed was me thinking that I knew what it was like, that I really understood what it was like to be married, and I really didn't. The annulment was finalized in late December 2005. And Chesney released the chart-topping The Road and the Radio in November. In the years that followed, Chesney kept busy, releasing Life, Love Those Songs Again in 2006, and Just Who I Am, Poets and Pirates in 2007. In April 2010, Chesney and director Joe Thomas released the 3D concert film Kenny Chesney, Summer in 3D. Taken from his 2009 Sun City Carnival tour, the film included 23 songs from 6 stadium shows, shot in 3D, interspersed with interviews and home movies. A completely new studio album, Hemingway's Whiskey, named after a Guy Clark song, also appeared in 2010. His 13th studio album, Welcome to the Fishbowl, arrived in 2012. Welcome to the Fishbowl performed respectably, debuting at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and generating the number 1 country single, Come Over, along with the top 20 hits, Feel Like a Rock Star and El Cerrito Place. Following its release, Chesney's label B&A shuttered, and he jumped over to Columbia Nashville, which released Life on a Rock in April 2013. The album hit number 1, and the single, Pirate Flag, reached the country top 10. Chesney quickly followed Life on a Rock with The Big Revival, a conscious shift toward a brighter sound. The Big Revival was Chesney's liveliest work of the decade, as evidenced by its first single, American Kids, a sing-along that peaked at number 2 on the country chart. Upon its September 2014 release, The Big Revival debuted at number 2 on Billboard's Top 200 and number 1 on the country chart, and it spawned 3 additional country's top 10 singles, Till It's Gone, the Grace Potter duet, Wild Child, and Save It for a Rainy Day. In the spring of 2016, Chesney returned with Noise, the first single from Cosmic Hallelujah, the full-length album that was originally called Some Town Somewhere and scheduled for July release, but was retitled and rescheduled for October that same year. Chesney followed Cosmic Hallelujah in October 2017 with the double disc Live in No Shoes Nation, his first live album in a decade. Ending his contract with Sony Music Nashville, Chesney announced a move to Warner Brothers in early 2018, and in the spring of that year, issued the optimistic single, Get Along. It was the first single from Songs for the Saints, an album written as a tribute to the victims of Hurricane Irma. The album landed at number 2 on the Billboard 200 and topped the country chart. In July 2019, Chesney released the song, Tip of My Tongue, which he co-wrote with Ross Copperman and Ed Sheeran. The track served as the first single off his studio effort, Here and Now, which arrived in 2020 and became his 9th album to reach number 1 on the Billboard 200. An expanded version of the LP arrived the following year and featured 4 new tracks, including the hit single, Streets. Thank you for watching the video.